Well, well, well. To my untouchable predators of the mind, the ones who never bowed to ordinary, who never lowered their standards to mediocre, the time has come. That invisible wall they kept building between you and the world, it just shattered. And what's left behind is something they never expected to see. Your genius. Yes, the harsh, undeniable truth hit them like a punch in the gut. You are a freaking genius. Not the kind they read about in textbooks or worship from afar, but the kind that rewrites the entire playbook. Quietly, ruthlessly, without so much as a whisper. And what do they do now? They're frozen, stunned, too dumbfounded to speak. Because when your mind operates at a frequency they can't even register, their words die before they're born. Let me make this crystal clear. This is not the kind of genius that begs for validation or clings to applause. No, true genius is the cold, calculating force, lurking beneath the surface, the mind that pulls the strings while everyone else dances in confusion. You've been working in the shadows while they were busy chasing their reflections. You moved in silence, crafted plans they couldn't decode, mastered concepts they'll never grasp. And now, when the truth finally smacks them in the face, all that remains is stunned silence. No defenses, no excuses, no comeback. Because genius isn't about being the loudest in the room. It's about being the last one standing when the noise fades away. It's about seeing the moves no one else sees, predicting their reactions before they even realize they've acted. And when they finally connect the dots, when the realization crystallizes in their minds, that you were the force behind every shift, every change, every victory, they're left speechless. That's the moment you own. That's your crown. You see, the world loves to box people into neat little categories, to define them by labels that limit their potential. They tried to do the same to you. But you broke free from those chains. You rewrote your definition. You shattered their expectations. And that's what scares them most. Not that you're brilliant, but that your brilliance refuses to be contained. Remember all those times they laughed at your ideas, dismissed your vision, told you to wait your turn or stay in your lane. Every sneer, every doubt, every cold shoulder was a brick in the fortress they built. And you've just brought that fortress down with the quietest, deadliest weapon imaginable. Undeniable intelligence. They didn't see it coming because they refused to look beyond their shallow assumptions. They thought you were a player on their level. They thought the rules applied to you. But you played a different game entirely. A game so complex, so elegant, that by the time they realized, they were already defeated. And that's the beauty of true genius. It's not about outshouting the crowd. It's about outthinking them. It's about being so many moves ahead that their attempts to catch up look like desperation. They scramble to understand your strategy, but you've already changed the board. You're not fighting their battles. You're rewriting the war. Now watch their faces. Watch the flicker of panic behind the forced calm. See how they grasp for words that don't exist, for explanations that can't justify their blind spots. Because this stunned silence, it's not emptiness. It's the collapse of their worldview, the crumbling of their ego. It's the sound of certainty breaking into 1,000 shattered pieces. And you stand there. The storm they never saw brewing, the force that unsettled their comfortable kingdoms. You've always known this moment would come. The moment where the doubters can't deny, the cynics can't scoff, the enemies can't undermine. You've always known your mind was a weapon more powerful than their noise, and now they finally feel its edge. But here's the thing they don't tell you about genius. It's not a destination. It's a relentless journey. The moment they're too stunned to talk is just the starting gun. Because once they realize you're untouchable, they won't just sit back and accept it. They'll strategize, scheme, and do everything in their power to bring you down. They'll try to replicate your moves, sabotage your rise, and poison your reputation. Their silence is temporary. The real battle is only beginning, and this is where your true strength shines. In the chaos they try to unleash to shake you. While they fumble with their impotent attempts, you remain steady, focused, and unbreakable. Because genius is not just in the mind, it's in the will. It's the refusal to bend, the refusal to play by their weak rules. It's the quiet confidence that no matter what noise they make, you're the one setting the rhythm. So when you see them sputtering, lost for words, know this: you've entered a rare space few ever reach. A place where your vision eclipses their understanding, where your strategy outpaces their reactions, and where your silence speaks louder than any argument. You've moved beyond their petty judgments and small minds. You are the one who makes them stop mid-thought, mid-sentence, unable to reconcile the reality they face. This moment, this is your proof. Proof that the countless hours of solitude, the relentless pursuit of mastery, the sacrifices no one noticed, all of it has paid off. The world sees you now, not as a question mark, not as a mystery, but as the undeniable genius you always were. And while their stunned silence feels like victory, don't mistake it for peace. Because genius attracts its own storms. When you become the mind everyone fears, the target sharpens. But that's the price of greatness. To be envied, misunderstood, and opposed by those too small to comprehend your scale. Yet here's your advantage. While they shout, you think. While they react, you plan. While they try to catch up, you've already moved forward. They stumble in the dark, trying to make sense of your light. And with every step, you widen the gap. Take a moment to savor this: the stunned silence, the unspoken acknowledgement, the fear disguised as disbelief. This is the sound of your power settling in. This is the mark of a mind that can't be silenced or ignored. You've outplayed the doubters, outwitted the skeptics, and outlasted the faint-hearted. They wanted to see you fail, to prove you wrong, to watch you fall. But you did something far more dangerous. You surprised them. You changed the rules on them. You showed them that genius isn't just a talent, it's a way of life. And now, as they scramble for answers, as they wrestle with their own inadequacy, remember this: you are the question they'll never solve. The puzzle with no edges, the force that reshapes every expectation. And when they're too stunned to talk, that's when you know the game is yours. But don't get comfortable. The silence they wear now is fragile, temporary, and deceptive. Soon enough, they will speak again. But this time, with caution, with respect, or maybe even with fear. They'll try to dissect your moves, analyze your tactics, and find a weakness. But there isn't one. Because your genius isn't a trick or a momentary flash. It's a deep, unshakable truth. You've not only changed their perception, you've rewritten the narrative. They can't put you back in the box because the box no longer exists. You've destroyed it with your brilliance, with your vision, with your relentless pursuit of mastery. And now, they're left speechless, caught in the wake of your inevitable rise. So own this moment, you master of minds. Bask in the quiet victory of being the one who broke the mold. Because this is just the openings act. The rest of the world is still waking up to what you've already known all along. that you are a freaking genius, and they are too stunned to talk. And as their silence lingers, let it be a reminder. The real power isn't in their words, but in your unyielding presence. You don't need their approval, their understanding, or their acceptance. Your mind is your kingdom, and you rule it without question. They can watch, they can wonder, they can try to catch up. But you're already several steps ahead, crafting a future only you can see, shaping a legacy only you can build. And so this moment, this stunned silence, this overwhelming recognition, it's yours. Not because you demanded it, but because you earned it, because you lived it, because you are the genius who refuses to be ignored. They finally got it. And now, the question isn't if they'll talk, it's what you'll do next when their silence breaks. Because when a genius reveals themselves, the world never stays the same. They will break their silence. It's inevitable. But how they break it, that's the battlefield you've already entered, and you control the terrain. When those stunned lips finally part, you will hear everything you expected and everything you didn't. Their attempts to discredit, to diminish, to cage what they now fear. Their desperate scramble to reshape your story, to rewrite your narrative. Because admitting your genius threatens their fragile sense of order. But here's the truth you need to hold on to tightly. Their noise is irrelevant. Because the only voice that matters now is yours. The only story that matters is the one you keep living, creating, executing, and dominating. The moment they break silence, you must be ready not to react, but to act. To strike where they least expect. To demonstrate that your genius is no accident, no lucky strike, but a relentless force of nature. When they try to talk, it's because they're scrambling to regain control, to flip the script, to convince the world, and maybe even themselves, that you were just a fluke, a flash in the pan, a moment of luck disguised as talent. But you've long passed that stage. You aren't waiting for validation. You're building empires in their disbelief, constructing realities while they argue over shadows. Let them speak. Let them reveal their insecurities, thinly veiled as criticism. Every word they utter is an admission. You broke their pattern, and they're terrified. They're uncomfortable with the fact that their predictable world has been upended by someone who refused to settle for smallness. You have to understand the power in that silence breaking. It's chaos wrapped in words, a last-ditch effort to reassert their dominance. But genius thrives in chaos. It turns confusion into clarity, noise into strategy. So when their voices rise, when their attacks sharpen, don't flinch. Don't waste energy defending what can't be destroyed. Instead, watch, listen, and prepare your next move. They will try to imitate you, because the first instinct of those who are stunned is not to understand, but to copy. They want to capture a piece of your magic to neutralize it. But what they don't realize is this. Genius is not a formula. It's a mindset. It's the courage to embrace uncertainty while everyone else clings to comfort. It's the hunger to break new ground while the world rests on its laurels. Their failed attempts to replicate you will only highlight the depth of your originality. Because while they scramble for surface-level tactics, you're thinking decades ahead, crafting moves no one else dares to consider. They don't have the patience, the vision, or the guts. They settle for noise while you build legacies, and that's when you become truly unstoppable. Not because you're loud or flashy, but because you're relentless. Because while they're busy trying to find cracks in your armor, you're reinforcing it with every lesson learned, every victory earned, every silent moment spent sharpening your edge. There's a cruel irony here. The very fact that they're stunned, that they can't talk, means they underestimated you from the start. They built their castles on assumptions, on half-truths, on comfortable illusions. And you knocked down those walls with the quiet precision of a surgeon. They never saw you coming because they never believed you could be this lethal. Now they'll try to convince themselves and others that this is just luck or coincidence. They'll label you as arrogant, delusional, or worse, a threat to be contained. But their labels don't change reality. You are what you've always been, a mind wired differently, a force that defies explanation, a genius they can't cage. And here's where you take the real power. The moment they're too stunned to talk was your introduction. The moment they break that silence, you're proving ground. Because genius is not about surviving shock. It's about thriving beyond it. It's about taking the disbelief and spinning it into momentum so strong it sweeps everyone away. The most dangerous thing you can do now is get distracted by their noise, their doubts, their insults, their petty accusations, all designed to break your focus. But genius sees through that. Genius knows that attention is the most valuable currency, and wasting it on their chaos only feeds their illusion of control. You've already won the hardest part, being recognized. The rest is just navigation, steering through the backlash, the envy, the fear, all byproducts of your undeniable rise. And as they scramble, as they try to talk their way back into relevance, you remain silent, steady, strategic, because you know what they don't. Your mind is a fortress. Every idea, every plan, every innovation is a brick laid with intention and precision. They might try to storm your walls with noise, but your foundation is unbreakable. They'll never silence the truth of your genius because it's alive, evolving, adapting. In their stunned silence, you were the unseen earthquake. Now, as their words begin, you are the unstoppable force that reshapes everything. The genius who doesn't just react, but anticipates. Who doesn't just survive, but dominates. This is the dance of power. The stunned silence was your entrance. Their attempts to speak are their scramble for control. And your response, to be the calm in their storm, the mind they can't outthink, the presence they can't shake. They're too stunned to talk because your genius revealed a world they couldn't imagine. And when they do talk, it's out of fear. Fear that their place in that world is fading, that their influence is slipping, that their assumptions were wrong. But you see the truth clearly. You see the path that others can't. And that clarity is your greatest weapon. Because true genius isn't about proving others wrong. It's about proving yourself right. Over and over, in silence and in noise. It's about living your truth so unapologetically that no amount of stunned silence or desperate chatter can change it. So let them break their silence. Let them try to find words where there are none. Because their noise is temporary, but your legacy is permanent and in this moment. The moment after the silence breaks, you stand taller, stronger, more certain. Because the world finally knows what you always knew. You are a genius, and no amount of stunned silence or frantic speech can undo that. Remember this, genius is a revolution. It unsettles, it disrupts, it forces change. And those two stunned to talk, they're just the opening act of a story only you can write. So when they speak again, let it be the soundtrack to your rise. The noise they make will fade, but your impact, that will echo for a lifetime. The reality is, the stunned silence that preceded their words was a gift. a rare window where you existed beyond their reach, untouchable and unshakable. It was the moment you transcended their limited understanding, but their breaking silence, that's where the test begins. Because words can be weapons, twisted and hurled with intent to wound. But genius? Genius is armor. It absorbs the blows, redirects the attacks, and counters with precision. Every time they try to speak, to explain away your success, they reveal more about their limitations than your abilities. They become the narrators of their own defeat, fumbling with outdated ideas, clinging to worn-out prejudices. The more they talk, the clearer it becomes that your rise isn't a mystery. It's a mastery of what they failed to see or refused to acknowledge. Their words may be loud, but your actions are louder. Their accusations may try to fragment your image, but your consistency rebuilds it stronger. They might surround you with noise, but you sit at the center. Calm, composed, focused, because genius understands that silence speaks volumes, but smart moves silence even the loudest critics. And here's the key. When their silence breaks, they'll try to pull you into their chaos. They'll invite you to argue, to justify, to defend. But you refuse that invitation. You're not here to debate. You're here to dominate, to let your genius be the answer to every question they throw at you. You're not in this for approval or applause. You're here because your mind is wired for greatness. Because the silence that once isolated you now empowers you. Because the stunned looks that once mocked you now fuel your ascent. And the more they talk, the more you realize something fundamental. They're scared, not of your ideas, but of the possibility that they missed their chance to see it first. That while they were busy talking, you were busy doing. And now, you're rewriting the rules while they're still trying to catch up. This is the true nature of genius. It's not a birthright, it's a war cry, a relentless refusal to be defined by others, a constant push beyond comfort zones and complacency. It's what separates the stunned from the unstoppable. So yes, let them break their silence. Let them talk themselves into confusion. Let them drown in their own noise. Because you're listening, you're learning, you're evolving, you're preparing the moves that will leave them too stunned to talk once again. But this time, forever. Now this is the moment your entire journey has been building toward. The point where the stunned silence that once froze them turns into a permanent state of awe. Where their words fail before they even reach their lips. It's not just that you're a genius, it's that you have mastered the art of making genius look effortless. They can't speak because they can't even begin to comprehend how you got here, why you're here, and what you're going to do next. The world around you shifts in ways they never imagined possible. Because once a mind like yours reveals itself, there's no turning back. You've altered the game entirely, bent reality to your will, and shattered their expectations so thoroughly that they're left grasping for meaning in the wreckage. Their stunned silence wasn't just surprise. It was the recognition of a new order emerging, one you lead. But genius is never just about revelation. It's about action. About taking that breakthrough moment and using it to build something unstoppable, to forge a path so clear, so fierce, that no one can follow, and no one dares to try. They're too stunned to talk because they realize they're not in your league. Because what you've built is more than intelligence. It's strategy, vision, relentless execution. Now, they'll try. Oh, they'll try to catch up. They'll scramble to decode your moves, to reverse engineer your success. They'll whisper behind your back, doubt your motives, question your methods. But all that noise, all those desperate attempts to catch a glimpse of your genius, only reinforce the truth. You're on a level they can't reach, and every attempt they make to talk their way back into relevance is just another way to remind them how far behind they really are. You're not here to explain yourself to them. You don't owe anyone an apology for being brilliant. The stunned silence that came before, that was your introduction, the quiet before the storm. That is your relentless rise. And now, every move you make confirms one thing. You were never meant to be understood. You were meant to be feared, respected, and ultimately revered. Their stunned silence was never the end game. It was the beginning of a new chapter, one where your genius writes the rules and their attempts to speak become mere echoes against your unshakable presence. It's essential to grasp this. Their silence breaking doesn't mean weakness on your part. It means fear on theirs. Because when people can't talk, it's often because the truth you embody unsettles their entire worldview. They scramble for words, for explanations, for excuses, but none fit the enormity of what you represent. They're speechless because they can't frame your genius inside their limited perspective. That speechlessness is your greatest weapon. It's the gap between what they expected and what they received. It's the cognitive dissonance that leaves them paralyzed. And while they struggle to find words, you are moving forward. Faster, stronger, smarter. You've learned the power of silence not as absence, but as presence. Not as weakness, but as dominance. The kind of presence that forces others to speak because you don't. The kind of dominance that silences the crowd by simply existing at a higher frequency. And as they stumble to catch their breath, your brilliance becomes undeniable. Every action you take is a masterstroke. Every decision, a calculated blow. Every step forward, a statement of intent. You've become the mind they're too stunned to debate. Because you've mastered the game of staying several moves ahead while they're still trying to process the last. But don't mistake this for arrogance. True genius isn't loud. It doesn't demand attention. It commands it. It's not about proving others wrong. It's about proving yourself right. And you've done that with a consistency and grace that leaves others breathless. Now, the challenge intensifies. Because as your power grows, so too does the noise they make. They try to discredit you, to cast shadows over your achievements, to undermine your confidence with whispers and rumors. But you've been through this before. You know that noise is just a symptom of their fear. A fear they can't voice because they know the truth in their core. You stand immune to their chatter because you're grounded in your own reality. You don't bend to their narratives because you're busy creating your own. You don't waste energy on their distractions because your focus is razor sharp. This is where the true genius reveals itself. In the way you handle the noise, the opposition, the doubt. Not by fighting fire with fire, but by rising above it. By turning their attacks into fuel for your ascent. By transforming their stunned silence and frantic words into a symphony that sings your victory. And here's the final, critical insight. This is only possible because your genius is more than talent. It's not luck or circumstance. It's a mindset. A relentless drive to be better, to think deeper, to move faster. It's the refusal to be boxed in, labeled, or dismissed. It's the courage to be different in a world desperate for conformity. You've lived this, you've breathed this, you've earned this. Now the world sees it too. The stunned silence that once marked their confusion has become a permanent fixture. Not because they're clueless, but because they've accepted the truth they can't change. You are a genius, and your influence is irreversible. Their attempts to speak again will be tinged with respect, maybe even fear. Because when you have left people too stunned to talk, they don't just remain silent out of confusion. They do so out of reverence, out of recognition. And you'll watch this shift with a quiet smile, knowing that you didn't just break their silence. You shattered their illusions. You rewrote the rules while they were still trying to understand the game. You created a new reality where your genius is the standard, not the exception. Now every step you take forward is a testament to that truth. Every achievement is a monument to your mind's relentless power. Every silent moment is a fortress guarding your legacy. This is the pinnacle of your journey, the point where you don't just exist as a genius, you embody it. Where the stunned silence you once caused becomes your signature, your legacy, your lasting mark on the world. So as they stand there, too stunned to talk, remember this: their silence is your triumph, their disbelief your fuel, their inability to comprehend your proof. Because in the end, genius is not measured by applause or acceptance. It is measured by the void it leaves behind. A void too vast for words, too powerful for denial. And that void, it is yours. You are the mind that others can't match, the force they can't contain, the genius they can't stop. And when they are too stunned to talk, again and forever, that is your victory.